And then I think when people jump in, they can still join halfway through the game, I believe. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, so if you haven't seen this game before, I play as the monarch ruling over the kingdom. One of my main ways of winning is by getting an heir. And then you in chat can, like, basically you have your own goals to work towards for your own factions. But if your defiance and military is high enough, then yeah. Yeah, we'll just go on. So each season we get 3 events, and the majority of times. Oh yeah, can do. And can produce it. Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, so if any of the kingdom stats reaches 0, the game just immediately ends. No problem. And yeah. Now that you're a king, you first need to meet with a council of nobles. Council of the East. Here we go. Count Mama Bear streams. In order to fathom your acquaintance, Your Majesty, may you escape the doom that befell your predecessor. Then, Lady Petition Auron. Pleasure, Your August Majesty. I hope to see our kingdom prosper and grow wealthy under your reign. Cool. Baron Lowenwinch. Hail and well met, Your Highness. Under your leadership, we'll whip this kingdom into shape. That the introductions are done. The council hall immediately fills with raised voices as the nobles argue with each other and demand your favour. You sign, sit back. Is this what the council's like? No wonder your fellow told you to avoid the throne at all costs. Our coronation. My coronation. I just got your coronation to take place in a week's time. Why the hurry? Delay any longer would make the nobles restless, and when nobles get restless, they take their daggers and look at the nearest back. We won't want that. As is tradition, the council will decide what happens at your coronation. Of course. Yeah. So here you get to make your own choices about what you want to vote on. So we could host a lavish parade with jugglers and fountains of wine, force the commoners to swear a blood oath, can throw the king into the river, or outdated traditions there's no need for a coronation at all. So this way you have to vote in chat, you just do explanation vote and then the letter. And I think I'm just going to jump right into it. Here you go. Of course. I saw that coming. Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry. Ow. Make me a bit smaller. There we go. Yeah. Go. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. Sure, I will be thrown into the river. The stability's gone up, but my authority has gone down. It's decided the king will be thrown in the river. What kind of coronation is this? We have a traditional ceremony dating back to Queen Alma the Wise. It's meant to represent you being reborn as a true king. Yeah, I'm just further away. Yeah, I'm just small. The nobles pick you up and carry you out to the Treadwater River, hurling you into the shallow water with a cheer. When you climb back up the bank soaking wet, Chancellor steps forward and places the crown upon your head. Is it your imagination or some of the nobles' stifling giggles? Yeah. Now the path to victory. The monarch must inquire an heir and complete their ambition to win the game. A spouse is useful but not necessary. Complete the ambition before a scheme or rebellion usurps you, or before you lose all authority, treasury, or stability. Your Majesty, the first few years of your reign are the most difficult. You're new and unproven. The nobles of the council will scheme against you, hoping to kick you off the throne and put their own puppet claimant in your place. These fools can't skin their way out of a paper bag. Better kings than you have been toppled by their treacherous nobles, Your Majesty. To defeat their schemes, you must secure an heir and prove that you are worthy of the crown by completing an ambition. My question is, when you die, how do you hope the kingdom will remember you? Ooh. You know what, I think we're gonna go military. A warrior king is sure to be remembered fondly. If he wins more battle than he loses. I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving the kingdom's overall military as much as possible. Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty. Now, yeah. End of season. Now, you all get to vote on what you want your own schemes to be. So, each region will now vote for one of 3 randomly selected schemes. Schemes are made up of 3 stages with specific stat requirements. Passing all 3 scheme stages places the region's claimant on the throne, winning the game. When have the Barons of the March backed down from a fight? Never. I know you'll do whatever it takes to put me, your rightful queen, on the throne. So you can vote either have a goal of lowest stability, lowest defense, or raise others' stat defiance. And that is whoever's on the Barons. Okay. So you must. So you just want the lowest defiance? The Barons plan to swap the real king. Yeah. Yes, the Barons plan to swap the real king for a perfect doppelganger. First they must gain the trust of the spy master. To advance the scheme, the Barons must be the region with the lowest defiance in 2 seasons. So currently, you're all at the same defiance. But the Barons of the March wants to be the lowest. Which they technically currently are, I guess. My fellow counts, in ancient times the East was its own proud kingdom. We can bring back those days of glory, but not while the false King Popdad wears the crown. Wow. So, the counts can vote to either have the highest farming, lower their own faith, or lower their own defiance. Okay, so you're going for the highest farming. Makes sense. Already have the highest farming. So, go. The counts plan to summon an ancient famine demon that will devastate all other regions, paving a clear path to the throne. First, they must ensure the East can withstand a famine. To advance their scheme, the counts must be the region with the highest farming in 4 seasons. And last but not least, the patricians. Fellow patricians of the coast, my claim to the throne is far more legitimate than that of King Popdad. Something must be done. So either you can have your goal to raise own trade, lower the treasury, or lower authority. Okay, you want to lower my authority? How very rude of you. The patricians plan to turn the throne into a commodity that can be bought and sold at will. First, they must ensure that the rule of law is crumbling. To To advance the scheme, the petitions must lower authority to 4 or less in 3 seasons. Oh, that's not good. Here you can review the region's schemes and their claimants. When you have an heir, they will appear on the right of this page. Okay. Yeah. So, on to the next season. Your goal is to ultimately overthrow me. You can do that. Let's get an honor guard set up. Or more like, I see you all just voted on your own schemes, which has multiple progressions to it, and if you manage to do that, you end up overthrowing and becoming things. So currently you are all, like, sort of moving on to your next stage. Yeah. Now that you are king, you need personal protection. Why, I could plunge my sword into your heart right now, could I not? I mean, I suppose so. I need an honor guard to keep you safe from such dangers. Fortunately, this is a political decision. What are the options? Each region offers a selection of elite guards, the counts with knights of the Order of the Drowned Rose. Hey. Thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. The petitions with champion gladiators from the arena, and the barons offer a squad of battle-hardened veteran soldiers. Think carefully, Majesty. These guards' loyalties will be divided between you and the region, of course. You could just hire foreign mercenaries. They'd be loyal to coin above all. Yes, that is also true. You want to win while also stopping the others from winning, of course. So, think. So, yeah. Dig on your plea. Plea to me. Why should I hire you as my honorary guards? Because, the East does make a strong point. That is very good. I appreciate that. But what do the other regions offer? These make a good point. I'll make the arrangements at once. Nice. The knights arrive a few weeks later. They're all extremely pale and extremely polite. The commander introduces herself with a florid bow before reading out a poem she's written for the occasion. Nice. A new baby in the march. Hail, your highness, some fine news from my common folk in the march. A baby has been born on your birthday, bearing a birthmark in the shape of the number 9, a fantastic omen. Perhaps we should mark the occasion. So, what should be done to mark the birth of this remarkable infant? The king will send his blessings. The king has no time for peasant brats. Gift the parents a bounty of jewels and fine wine, or send the Inquisition to make sure the birthmark is real. We want. I think personally, you know what? I don't have any strong choices. You can vote on what you like. Wow. I see. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, I don't know what happens now, but we'll see. Voting tied. Ah. Okay, so I get to pick one. You know what? I'll look at that one. I will give the parents a bounty of jewels and fine wine. Oh, huzzah. Cheers, your highness. The Commonwealth will appreciate your generosity. There is another matter. They asked permission to name the baby after you. What do you think? As long as it's not ugly. Good. True to his word, Baron Lowenwinch, so I don't know how to pronounce the name, lets you know that the baby is perfectly adorable and therefore suitable for the name of Pup Dad. Great. No, I can't be angering you. I kind of like where I'm sat right now. You know, this crown's nice. Yeah. A child of the march named for you. Who knows what sort of person this baby will become? You can only hope you're around to see it. Hopefully. Pirates. Yeah. You must do something about the pirates that have been plaguing the coast ocean trade routes. I lost a whole shipment of fine silks. And they killed the crew. Ooh. Of course. You cheat your place. Oh, looks like you lost 300 for that. Too bad. Choices of uncertain outcomes called challenges. These can be random based on stat that percentages chance of success. So what should be done with the pirates plaguing coastal trade routes? Yeah. Can either order the coast navy to patrol the sea routes, pay the pirates to leave your ships alone for a year, or there's nothing to be done. No. Yeah, I don't think I've got any. Yeah, I've got no strong. How you will. Okay. So we will order the coast navy to patrol the sea routes. Let's see. Yeah. Ooh. Over the next few months, the Petition Navy suffers constant attrition in the battles with the pirates. Defiance is now insolent, but your military is now helpless. Your flagship is sunk by cannon fire. A pirate captain with some magical talent summons a kraken from the depths, destroying several of your galleons. These pirates are more powerful than advertised, though you do keep them away from the trade routes for now. The coastal navy power is weakened considerably, and the pirate problem is only getting worse. Wow. So now we can vote, well, you can vote to build things. This is through an auction where only the 2 most funded buildings are chosen. So to fund, you do !fund, the letter, and then how much you want to fund into it out of your personal wealth. Hello, Chase. Yeah. And you can vote on any, even if it's not inside of your region. So go ahead. And of course, each one, as you can see, has an effect. If you want to fund C, you have to put a number next to it of how much of your own personal wealth you're willing to fund. Okay, going. I see. Yeah, that. Interesting. So the barons are working against the patricians here. There we go. So, authority's gone down, but the farming for the counts have gone up. Interesting. Time to find a spouse. In the twisty passages of your castle, you can avoid your advisors, the nobles, even the spy master, but there's one person you can't avoid. Your mother. Why haven't you found a spouse yet? It's been almost a year. Been busy, mother. Sure, I'm interested in any, you know? Because your military is 0 because you got fucking fucked by pirates. That's why. So, excellent. That's a message from the most influential noble families in the kingdom. Let's see what they have to offer. Yeah, acting like it was my fault. It wasn't my fault. Your esteemed highness, the situation in the coast is dire. The king's navy is in tatters. So few ships remain that I fear we lack the presence to patrol our trade routes. It's not my fault. Stop saying it's my fault. I didn't. You've got no proof. You don't have any proof. We must bolster our dwindling forces in the coast. Who knows what will happen to our people without protection? So what can be done to... Okay, so this is just for the patricians only. So you can either hire a mercenary company, employ traders, or because there's no need for sailors, leave them be. Wow. Wow, of course it has to come out of my pocket. How rude. How rude. Why do I have to pay? The mercenaries? I'm not usually one to trust them, but I suppose it's better than nothing. On your marshal's advice, the treasury contributes a large sum to the hiring of a cadre of Salish freebooters to protect the coast. No, it's not really though, is it? I mean, fair. You've got sub-military now, I guess. The Salish are uncouth, foolhardy, and unaccustomed to rubbing shoulders with nobility. Many patricians complain about their lack of discipline, but at least the shipping routes are safe. The Pirate Queen. Yeah. You just say, you will be the first ones to be taxed. I won't forget this. Your Serene Highness, our pirates are more aggressive than ever. They follow a pirate queen who calls herself the Bloody Gull. She has established a stronghold on a tiny speck of land called Spiderheart Isle. According to our spies, she's growing every day in power and wealth. What are we to do? Only half of our trade vessels reach their destinations. Okay. Oh, see what you've done now? We can't even help because you spent all of my money. Either we can send the navy to assault her stronghold, or send a diplomat to broker peace with the pirate queen. Those are your two options. Okay. Interesting. You want to send in a diplomat? Ooh. 50-50. Okay. We're gonna send in the navy. You now back down. Your military is now helpless, your trade is now prosperous, and authority is now feeble. So you did achieve your goal. Just a few of these cannons are enough to even the odds. Your navy is scattered and a dozen of your finest warships are sunk without a trace. Yeah. In the battle's wake, it is clear that the Bloody Gull is the true ruler of the Ghost Sea. She'll be taking a terrible toll on your trade routes for years to come. And that's the end of the season. The patricians did not have a good season. Yes. Deep in the forest of the March, Baron Lower Wenich has gone boar hunting with a few of his close friends. Fate is against us, friend. We failed to win the Spymaster's trust, and she still watches us with an eagle eye. How goes the search for the look-alike? Not while I'm still looking. The best I found is a peasant with the wrong-shaped nose, the wrong-coloured eyes, and a wooden leg. Don't let that discourage you. Keep searching. Our doppelganger is out there. I'm sure of it. The Baron's aim is to be the region with the lowest defiance. You may collect a common tax or target a specific region. Okay. Let's see. I think... You know what? I don't feel like being mean to anyone. I'm just gonna do a nice common tax. There you go. Everyone gets taxed. Everyone gets taxed. I have found 3 potential matches for you. 1 eligible young candidate from each of the kingdom's 3 regions. Choose wisely, you'll be securing a powerful alliance. Yeah. I suppose so, but the alliance comes first. Alright, let's see the eligible candidate. She whisks away the cloth for the first portrait. This is Matilda, the eldest daughter of the Eastern Cosmal dynasty. In her youth, she ran off and tried to join a circus. They found her in the end, thank the 9th. She had a laboratory installed in a castle and spends most of her time there, conducting bizarre experiments. She's always planning something, they say, schemes within schemes. She's an intriguing candidate. Yeah, and they just immediately lose the military. Like, God. On the coast we have Justin, the wealthy heir to Lord Patrician Chase Larcus's estate. He spends most of his time in the solitude of his villa, so I know little about him. I like the sound of him. Finally we have the March's offering, Helaman, scion of the prestigious Anthony bloodline. A typical baroness, really loud and brash and self-absorbed, but mostly well-meaning. Like most of the barons, her great passion is hunting. No beast is safe from a crossbow. Give her half a chance and she'll expound at length on how we should improve the lot of the peasants. Sounds like a laugh. What do you think? Of course, by picking a candidate, you'll anger the other regions, but you'll gain a lifelong alliance. Yeah, I made my decisions. We'll go for Justin of the Coast. Then I'll make the arrangements. Okay. This morning you'll be cutting the ribbon on the new library, then giving a speech at the gardening festival. I prepared some inoffensive jokes about flowers for you. Tell me a flower joke. Someone's been secretly adding concrete to the soil of my garden. The plot thickens. Relax everyone, I'm just pulling your leg. Terrible. Well, I think I rose to the occasion. But isn't there a council meeting today? Yes, Majesty, but the nobles told me you weren't attending council meetings anymore. They said you were happy to let them decide the matters of state. I'll have their heads on spikes. Oh dear, quick, let's head to the council hall, we might catch them before the session begins. Oh, Your Majesty, forgive me for not bowing, we didn't expect to see you here today. Meaning of this. Don't take offence, Your Highness. We thought you'd be relieved to have the reins of power taken from you. I'm your king, damn it. By the 9th, Your Highness, anyone can see that you're not fit to rule. Let's take care of things from now on. Would that be so bad? Oh. You know what? Just this once, I will let you off with a stern warning, but don't you dare pull this stuff again. Otherwise, I will have your head on a stick. It doesn't get much better after that, of course. Next council session, you walk to the halls of school with the nobles topic of discussing the day's affairs without you. If you don't object, you just sit quietly on your throne and wait for them to notice your arrival. Wow. A plague of rat. Yeah. How rude of you. Count Kosomal strides into the council chambers, distraught, waving a dead rat by its tail. The fields and barns of the east are overrun by vermin, and we've no more poison of these horrible things. We can't cope anymore. So, can the council help resolve the eastern rat plague? Take the rat and go, the east can handle this alone. Deliver a supply of rat poison. Send them a shipment of cats, or hire some adventurers to clear out the rodents. Yeah. You know what? Probably just because that might raise it more. I'm gonna veto A, but you can have free reign of the other three. Go ahead. Resting. Of course. Of course, you just want to spend all my money, don't you? Well, it's gonna be D anyway. Gonna hire some adventurers to clear out the rodents. Revenue's getting real low. It's not good. Luckily, the Adventurers Guild has an entire branch dedicated to vermin control as part of the Leveling Up initiative. Don't worry, Your Majesty, you can rely on I, Groswald the Glorious, and my party of merry adventurers to clear out these rats for you. Later, the adventurers are wiped out battling some kind of rat king in a sewer, but the rodent population has gone down. So the counts are now loyal, which is nice. Yeah. And that's the end of that season. In a dingy seaside tavern, two patricians of the coast meet to plot their latest scheme. Good news, my friend, the palace officials have been accepting my bribes. They're becoming more and more open to corruption. What are you getting in return? Oh, not much. A better seat in the council chamber, access to the king's room when he's out, that sort of thing. And coastal tax collectors will be much more easygoing in the future. Your trade is now wealthy. But the important thing is that the king's staff are getting used to selling their principals to the highest bidder. So what next? Palace staff are one thing, but the true prize would be the loyalty of the Chancellor and the rest of the king's inner circle. To do that, we need to demolish their respect for the king. If the kingdom is in chaos, they will see the king as an incompetent fool and be much more open to our bribes. To advance the scheme, the partitions must lower stability to 4 or less in 3 seasons. So that is now your new goal, because you succeeded on your previous. Now I can adopt a new law that alters how voting is run. Ooh. You know what? Let's have it so, after you finish voting, you can change your minds and vote for a different option if you like. I think that might be fun. That is the end of that year. The royal wedding. The wedding to Justin is naturally the talk of the kingdom. Nobles and peasants alike travel from across the realm to attend. For a week and a day, the capital is one giant party. Yeah, I know. I'm a graceful king. It feels like you're the only one not taking part. You said you're getting ready for the ceremony. Soon enough, you're standing in St. Bertrand's Cathedral with Justin at your side. Do you take this man as your lawfully wedded husband? I do. I then pronounce you king and husband. After the wedding, of course, there's a feast, and after the feast, a dance. Your new husband Justin turns bright red every time a toast is called in his honour. Stability is now united, authority is now mocked, defiance is now cordial, defiance can't go lower, and defiance is now aloof. By the time you find yourself alone with Justin, past midnight and you've never felt more tired. Hello. Hello. Nice weather for it? The wedding, I mean? He both lapse into strange silence, just gulps back his wine. Yeah, not much to tell really. I'm just dust carried on the wind. As are we all, if you read the scripture. That's into silence again. All attempts to get him to talk more prove fruitless, and eventually he makes his excuses and heads to the spare bedchamber. Wow. Wow. The treasury is almost empty, Your Highness. What do you suggest we do? Apart from raising taxes, we have precious few options. You could get a bank loan or sell the crown jewels, or perhaps crack open some of your predecessors' tombs. Most would go with piles of gold, that's what I've heard. Ooh. That's... Yeah, I am the Royal Mint, don't I? Make more coins! The Royal Mint between churning out coins allowing you to pay off several old debts. Yes. Yep, I sure do. Yeah, I'm rich now, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? Your Majesty, a forest on my lands has been completely overrun by giant spiders, some are as big as horses. The trees are shrouded in webs and travellers are going missing. We must put a stop to this. Yeah. So we can either send in the army to wipe them out, burn it with fire, put a bounty on giant spider legs, or we must learn to coexist with the spiders. I don't want to put a bounty on giant spider legs, they'll be fine. Go ahead. Still only half votes. No one else votes and I just get to decide. So... there we go. Yeah. We must learn to coexist with giant spiders. Just have to. Coexist? They're monsters. They're monsters. Mandibles dripping with venom, snatching merchants off the roads and stringing them up to suck them dry. They're more afraid of you than you are of them. That can't be right. They're 10 feet long ways, 10 feet width ways, and 8 feet ways. You send your Chancellor to Quail University. Perhaps the scholars will have some ideas of how you and the spiders can coexist peacefully. And that marks the end of spring. Late at night, two counts meet in an ancient stone cemetery to discuss their schemes against the king. Our grain stores are looking much more impressive than the rest of the kingdom. Yes, and I have peasants from the coast moving onto my lands desperate to sponge off our prosperity. How delightful, but won't summoning this demon be difficult? It's magic beyond our useful fare. The walls of reality are sturdy, but they can be weakened. The tide of blood must swallow this kingdom in its wake. Chaos. For the next stage of the scheme, the counts must lower stability to 4 or less in 2 seasons. So now both the counts and patricians are working on the same goal. Whereas the poor barons have still to do their first stage, which is to have the lowest defiance. Let's continue the spiders. Greetings, Your Majesty. I am the arachnologist you sent for, having spider problems, Giant spiders, to be precise. Trachnius magnum. collo- 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 colloquially known as the giant spider or the gigantula, a fascinating specimen and with many practical uses. You can raise them as livestock and milk them for the potent venom, or you can harvest their silk, which makes for fine sails and formidable armor. Last but not least, you could train them from birth to be ridden as mighty steeds. Who could resist a cavalry regiment that comes into battle atop these mighty arachnids? Possibilities are endless, but first you need to get a hold of some eggs. No easy task, I'm afraid. Cool. So how can the council steal eggs from the giant spiders infesting a forest in the east? Hire some adventurers for the task. Send in soldiers to kill the spiders and take their eggs. Lure the spiders from their nests with an offering, or leave the spiders alone. I'll let you swing votes. Why not? Yeah, it has changed. You're good. Okay. That is true. Good try. Okay. Give him a couple seconds, maybe. Too slow. You send an urgent message to the Adventurers Guild. The next day, a band of scared ruffians with impractical weapons appear before the council to hear your proposal. Giant spiders, is it? No problem, I'll swing back to headquarters and pick up some antidotes and a bug-smashing hammer. We just need to steal their eggs. That's all we're doing. The adventurers return a few weeks later, their wagon groaning under a glistening heap of spider eggs. You order them sent to a nearby farm to be hatched and raised as livestock. Hopefully Eastern farmers are up to the task. Okay. No, it's not too late. You can join in any time. Good. You better be. Bring up my giant spiders. Your Majesty, the acclaimed playwright Montague Chickensteel has written another smash hit. All the theatres in the capital are showing it nightly. Wonderful, I love his work. So do I, so does everyone, but the problem is that the new play features a character obviously based on you. I don't like where this is going. Yeah, cool, welcome. The character is played by a professional clown named Biffo. At one point, a bucket of custard is appended over his head as he sits on the throne. Your Highness, peasants and nobles alike are watching this play. The theatres are packed. You must put a stop to it. You simply cannot be known as King Biffo. Oh, I think I'll attend for myself. The shocked silence falls in the theatre as heralds announce your arrival. You wave from the royal box as the actors stare up at you, clearly horrified. The show must go on. The play begins. Soon enough, the Clown King arrives on stage, immediately tripping on his own robes. They somehow found an actor who looks just like you. Endless humiliations are heaped on this honking, squeaking parody. Finally, the play concludes with the custard-drenched king handing his crown to the deserving hero. All eyes turn to you. How do you react? I climb onto the stage. The actors shrink away from you. The audience are deadly silent. Everyone's terrified of what you'll do next. Congratulate the actors on a hilarious play. The audience break out into relieved cheers. The actors bow before you, weeping from gratitude. After that, the whole capital can talk about nothing but your good humour and mercy. Yeah. Ooh, something's bad happening in the march. Thank you. Your Highness, has been a terrible fire in the city of Rudhausen. Where once there were buildings, there is now a field of smouldering ash. Dozens of common folk have died. What caused the fire? Filled with religious conviction, the townsfolk seized a travelling wizard and attempted to burn him at the stake for practicing dark magic. He walked out of the city unharmed. The same cannot be said for those who tried to burn him. I'm sorry to hear that. I was hoping the council might unlock some funds from the treasury so we could rebuild. Rebuild the city exactly as it was, rebuild in stone rather than wood. Hey, thanks for the raid, Nerok. Appreciate it. Obviously currently halfway through this game, but if you want to join, you are more than welcome to. Hello, Tammy. Yeah. You know what? You go ahead. Vote away. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. Of course. Interesting, interesting. You can't change your vote now. If no one else has any other suggestions, we're going with B. Yeah. Here it is. We will build it instead of stone. We build in stone rather than wood. The rebuilding process will break the bank and take much longer, but fire should never ravage Rudhausen's sturdy stone buildings again. I mean, that is good. You do now have the lowest defiance, which is what you wanted. And that's the end of summer. You said you had a surprise for me. Indeed, and here it is, behold. Your Highness, what are you doing here at such an hour? I'm sorry, I hope you didn't overhear any. Quit blabbering, you blowhard. This isn't the king, it's a peasant who's a king's spitting image. Great God, and just in time, the Spy Master trusts us, and we can move to the next phase, kidnapping the king and putting this fool in his place. How do we manage that? We need the kingdom in utter chaos, bad enough that the king's abduction can slip past unnoticed. For the next stage of the scheme, the barons must lower stability to 4 or less than 4 seasons. Oh god, you are now all fighting for the same thing. And we're back at an auction. But I think I know which one you're all going to be going for. But now some of you are rich, where others are incredibly poor. Go ahead. Nice, 1 singular gold on the prison. Oh, interesting. Wow. Okay. Very interesting indeed. So, the prison was built and so was the Grand Bazaar. Ooh. About my heir. You're married to Justin has grown stale. Now you get along well enough and you've made some good memories together, but there's no spark. He cares more about the ninth god than your happiness. A spark or no spark, you still need an heir. Congratulations are in order. The royal wedding was a magnificent affair. You feel more like a life sentence than a wedding. Oh, don't be so dramatic. You've done well so far, but something's still missing. An heir. You need someone young whose loyalty is assured. A child of your own would do the trick, even if they're a bastard or the youngest of your many cousins. I'll make my youngest cousin my heir. Sure, of course, an entirely sensible idea. I'll make the arrangements at once. Sure. The Crystal Pox. Majesty, I bring bad news. An outbreak of Crystal Pox is ravaging the march. What am I supposed to do about it? Majesty, if I make a suggestion. Victims of Crystal Pox are only infectious at the boil stage. Once they are fully covered in crystals, they are no longer spread the disease. Indeed, the pox crystals can be harvested and used in jewelry. If we allowed the pox to spread, we could make money in the market. By the ninth woman, this is heartless even for you. The only way to fight the pox is to close the roads and shut down all trade until the wave subsides. Is that what you want? Will the march to lose money? Either spread the crystal pox and harvest the gems, don't do anything one way or the other, or quarantine the march and prevent further spread. Yeah. So nice, I'll let you swing your votes. Go ahead. It should be interesting. Okay. Jeez. Pretty much sealed it. Don't do anything one way or the other. The council dithers and delays and does nothing, and the crystal pox spreads like wildfire across the march. Farms lie fallow, soldiers die in droves, peasants turn away from a god that abandoned them. Farming is now needful, military is now mediocre, and faith is now dutiful, stability is now steady. However, it's not all bad news. Making the best of a bad situation, the barons harvest gemstones from the pox-stricken peasants and sell them at a tidy profit. So, you are now wealthier, and your trade is now dominant, raising by 3. And you've got a rogue golem as well. Not the barons' day. A rogue golem has crossed into our territory over the Ashmeaden border, your highness. This could be an exciting opportunity. What's so exciting about it? Please, my liege, this is our chance to figure out how this golem magic works. We could even turn it against Ashmead. Your Majesty, the barons would drown their own grandmothers to gain an advantage over Ashmead, or even the counts and patricians. Golems are an offense to the ninth god, and they're dangerous. We should destroy it before it gets out of control. We can either use it as a source of labor, add it to the Marcher army, take it apart and figure its sequence, or destroy it. Go ahead. $50-50, someone else gonna vote? Me to decide. Yes. Yeah, it's true. Good. Well, there's only a 60% chance of thing. But maybe. Or, let's go with B. We'll try and add it to the Marcher army. You know from first-hand experience how well these golems fight, it'll be a wonderful addition to our troops. The golem lives up to his reputation. On its first test run, Blaze popped out of its wrist and sliced a train dummy in half as well as the wall behind it. Pirates happened. Yeah, it wasn't very strong to begin with, but the pirates completely just demolished it. Even after I spent the majority of my treasury to get it back. Just... yeah. Okay. Thanks for the follow, Ashaislav. Appreciate it. So your military's now capable, but your faith has gone down a bit, which I don't think you really cared about. So yeah. Cool. And that ends autumn. The pair of counts face each other in silence, a code word is exchanged. They speak of their latest schemes. What happened? The kingdom was meant to be a whirlpool of chaos by now. More like a whirlpool of smiles and hugs. The demon will come anywhere near it. The counts aim to lower its ability to 4 or less. Sitting on a bench outside a sun-bleached villa, two patricians of the coast meet to plot the latest scheme. A beautiful day, isn't it? Birds are singing, the market's in full swing. Do you hear that on the wind? You can make out the laughter of children playing a game. Ah yes, delightful. Interesting. Okay. Wrong is horrible, the king is totally serene and our plans are in ruins. The king's advisors are happy with this rule. We can't buy their loyalty yet, believe me. I've tried. The petitions aim to lower stability to 4 or less. Let's see. You know what, yeah. Patricians, yeah. Yeah, I kinda need attack fuse. Saws, not saws. Thanks. Oh no, there's pox in the capital. Your Majesty, the crystal pox has spread from the march to the capital itself. Hundreds of our citizens have succumbed. Our streets are covered in the glittering statues of the afflicted. And? What are you going to do about it? You've got no ability to rebel against me. Majesty, okay, read that. Oh no. Indeed, Your Majesty, if only we could have prevented it. In any case, a rumour has spread among the peasants. They believe the only cure for crystal pox is the king's touch. That won't be happening. Wow, you would never. In your shoes, I say the same, but Your Majesty, the common folk are absolutely convinced. If you don't heal a few of them, then they stop the palaces to get their hands on you, or rather your hands on them. Maybe they're right. Only the Ninth God can help them now. I suggest we look to the Council for guidance. Oh great. The king should lay hands upon a token few of the infected. The king should lay hands upon as many of the infected as possible. Triple the security around the palace until this all blows over. Or we should just let the crystal pox run its course. You know what, I don't like that option. Go ahead. Yes. It makes sense you want to try and lower my stability and also my money. How very rude of you. Yeah. You hire hundreds more recruits to keep the raging mobs at bay. For the next few weeks, you shelter in your palace waiting for the worst to pass. By the time it's over, the capital is practically a ghost town, the streets are lined with glittering statues, but at least you survive. Yeah, sure, it's a coincidence. Yeah. As you ordered, Your Majesty, the Royal Mint has churned out thousands of new coins using cheap gold-like metals. The treasury is technically replenished. Ooh. Yeah, I sense a book coming. But it's also devaluing the currency across the kingdom. A loaf of bread now costs 100 times what it used to be. Uh-oh. I mean, that doesn't affect me though, so it just affects all of you. I'm fine with that. Something must be done if this gets worse. Our currency will be worthless. Yay, inflation! There's nothing wrong with this. Let's it continue. Adopt an entirely new currency and declare the old one illegitimate, or adopt a foreign currency instead. Ooh. Yeah, go ahead. I don't have much. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is. Okay. Yeah. Either way, this might be game. I don't have either of those amounts of money. Uh-oh. Yeah. I think. Let's continue. This won't end badly. Yeah. You suddenly cling to your existing currency, it has your face on it, we can't throw that away. Soon farmers are selling each turnip for a wheelbarrow full of coins, everyone's savings are completely wiped out. Eventually the cost of minting the coins actually outweighs their value. The kingdom's entire economy collapses like wet bread and people start using a barter system. Uh-oh. And in both the treasury and stability are at 0, I think. Greetings, Pugdad, I've had an idea. As you know, the people of the coast are quite prouse. As a member of the royal household and an avid adherent of the church myself, I thought I might go back to my homeland for a time and take opportunity to preach in your favour. Why do this for me? It's my duty as your husband, isn't it? And besides, it will be good for us both for you to be more popular. Sure, I'll go watch and teach them to love. Excellent, I'll make the preparations immediately. Word spreads fast that the king consort is planning a tour of the coast. Thousands flock to the towns and villages where he plans to stop. Fortunately, this isn't good. It's not long before he calls off the tour to return home, his tail tucked between his legs. That's the end of the season! Two counts meet in the outskirts of a brown farm, wind whipping at their long cloaks. Good news from the capital, my friend. Well, bad news, but good for us. Oh yes, fires, wanton murder, giant spiders? All that and more, the fabric between worlds is wearing thin. Time is right to summon a demon. But which honoured guest should we invite? That is up to the council to decide, either Ankh-Horazd or Belphegor. Good. Much preach. Okay. Sure. So your goal is now to raise your own trade. Belphegor will bring pestilence and salvation to the lands. She is perfect for our plans. When she arrives, the crown will be ours for the taking. Maybe. Yeah. A summoning ritual requires rare regents from across Celeste Ath. The petals of Saracani's orchid, the eye of an Artishi salamander. Indeed, we'll stockpile resources before initiating the rite. There's no time to waste. For the final stage of the scheme, the council must raise the trade to at least 5... Okay. At least one region has entered the final stage of the scheme. If they pass it, they'll win the game. There are some exceptions. If 2 or more regions pass this final scheme stage, the winner will be decided at random. Yes. Ooh. If stability, authority, or treasury hit 0 and the final scheme stage passes at the same time, the final scheme takes priority. Ooh, that's not good. If a rebellion ends with a rebellion win, and the final scheme stage passes at the same time, the scheme takes priority. The monarch can only win ambition events which will appear to have required an heir. Uh-oh. Sitting on a bench outside some bleached villa, 2 petitions of the cursed meet to plot the latest scheme, along with some other faces that the king might recognise. Greetings, Lady Patrician. I'd like to introduce you to some friends of mine. Good afternoon, noble petitions. As pleasure as always. Hello, is this the place? Smells like fish. Well, I take it you found my colleagues' arguments most persuasive then. Indeed, Lady Petition Auron made some excellent points about the king's incompetence. The most persuasive part was his giant bag of gold. What if the spy master and the chancellor still remain beyond our grasp? But with these 2 in our pocket, we can do great things. We just need to decide our approach. To either bankrupt the kingdom by the throne outright, or bring down the king in a bribery scandal. I think one of those is a lot easier than the other to do. That is up to the patricians. Yeah. You can't bankrupt a kingdom that's already bankrupt. I don't know. Yeah, looks like only Abby left. Oh. Oh yeah. That's sad. By the throne? Like it's a lump of cheese at the market? Are you mad? Quite sane. If the king takes a large enough financial hit, he'll be forced to look to the trusted treasurer for guidance. Don't you worry, I'll take it from here. For the final stage of the scheme, the patricians must keep the treasury at 500 or less for 1 full season. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I don't... Well, adopt reverse voting. Get rid of Onyx Law. One or more regions are able to rebel as the defiance stat is higher than both authority and stability. If the rebels get more victory points than the loyalists, they'll win the game. If the loyalists get more victory points than the rebels, they'll put down the rebellion and continue the game. Multiple regions rebel and win, A vote between the two rebellion regions with the highest stats will determine the successor. Important rebelling regions have their schemes paused. Regions with a high military stat are more likely to overthrow the monarch with a rebellion. The stability authority levels will win the civil war. So you can all rebel. Yeah, the patricians kind of have no military, so I would not advise rebelling as your king. Please don't rebel. Okay. Bankrupt. Yeah, true. Here it is. He holds up a single gleaming coin. What's that? The treasury in its entirety. There's nothing left, Your Majesty. You're broke. Is that why my servants are gone? Yeah, but it's not the servants you should worry about. Outside the palace, something rumbles like thunder. I can see where this is going. The soldiers in your armies and even the city watch. None of them have been paid in months. They're marching on the capital, you better grab your things. We will face the end with your head held high. You ride out atop a pure white stallion to face your rebellious soldiers. They're spilling through the streets like a tide, shouting for your head on a pike. They don't resemble a trained army at all, more like a mob decked out in armor. Deliver a grandiose speech. Don't they have any loyalty to their kingdom? Yes, times are hard, but if they could see into their hearts Your words are cut off by an arrow to the sternum. You topple slowly off the horse and are trampled by 1,000 sturdy boots as the soldiers rush forth to loot the palace. Having left no heir, it's up to the nobles to vote for your successor from among the claimants. You only hope they will keep the kingdom more stable than you did. Oof. You can vote for either the barons or the counts to rule. You just vote A or B. Of course, the council goes for the counts and the barons for the barons. Makes sense. Yeah, that settles it. Long live the counts. Well done, Kellerman. You are now the new successor to the throne. You are the next monarch. Out of money and facing an uprising, King Pup-Dad confronted his mutinous soldiers only to be shot with an arrow. All that remained of the barons' attempt to usurp the crown was a prisoner deep under the castle, clad in an iron mask and shrouded in rumour. The patricians succeeded in turning the palace into a hotbed of bribery and corruption. What's new about that? They failed to gain the throne and lost money in the process, a bad investment. The counts leapt into the power vacuum left by King Pup-Dad's death, and Kellerman took the crown with the council's blessing. Damn. It's pretty ruthless. Well done. Yeah. God. Damn. Pretty ruthless. So we could continue all. Yes. I should. Yes.